Well, hello everybody. Haven't been on here for a while. I've been kind of keeping my mouth shut. Been biting my tongue. But I can't do it any longer. Listen here. This deal about the gun violence and everything happened down in Florida. The gun shooting. Once again, the Democrats are trying to take over and do everything they possibly can to have gun control. We don't need gun control. Thank God Trump's our president. He's our line blocker there, and he's probably going to block most of all this crap. He's going to listen to a lot of it just to be a polite president. But here's what's really got under my craw. When they just started coming out here a couple days ago about the kids, the children, are going to demonstrate. They're going to push gun control, begging the Congress to do something about it. These kids are being steered by adults, most likely Democrat adults, because these adults are wanting a certain thing to happen, and they're using the kids to do it as a pawn. They're putting them out there on stage, and they're being that stage mother back in the background, telling them what to do. You can tell by the signs, the posters that they've made. Those kids that are holding them posters, some of them kids, I don't know whether they can read the poster, let alone write it. And what's on the poster, it should be utmost important that whoever's holding the poster knows what it's all about. Well, I've seen some of what's on those posters, and I know the kids, if you asked them the question, they could not explain what was on the poster they're holding. That bites my ass. You can't have the kids, I mean even the high school kids, their mind ain't developed properly. You know, when we were that age, we thought our mind was developed really good. But no, it wasn't. We got a lot smarter afterwards. It's a shame to have to admit that, but that's what happened. That's when your kids come back and say, you know, it wasn't really all that bad. When they hated your guts at the time. No, they'd come back and say, no, it was pretty good. It wasn't that bad. I kind of miss it. This what we did, or what we didn't get to do. But back to the main issue here. The things that these kids are trying to protest, they know absolutely nothing about. They have no knowledge, internal or external knowledge, that is either correct or halfway right. Okay, it's like, cars kill people. Of course, the drivers that are driving the car, they're the ones that are actually doing it, but the tool, like a gun, is being driven by a person, but the vehicle is the one that's really causing the accident. It's causing all the damage, let's put it that way. Well, so you don't ban the cars, right? People that get stabbed, there's a lot of people in this world that are stabbed hundreds and probably thousands daily. Nobody tries to ban a knife. No, they tell you, well, you can't carry around a butcher knife, you know, but you can have it in your house. And that's where a lot of the stabbings take place, you know, a lot of times. Domestic quarrels, what have you. Well, what I'm getting at here is, yes, I'm all for protecting the kids. Don't get me wrong. I don't need any fan mail, negative-wise. Of course, I don't care. I guess it doesn't make no difference to me. I'm getting old enough where I don't give a crap sometimes. But here's what people ought to think about. As my dog's barking in the background there, trying to have a Chinese fire drill. Well, when you put something like a prized possession, let's say it's money, where do you put it mostly? You put it in a bank. What does the bank do? Well, the bank locks the doors. They have it in a safe. They have it in a safekeeping place. You can still get to it, but you got to go there during open hours, and you got to do my ID, what I want to do, get in the lockbox, whatever the situation is, draw money out of the bank. But that's where you try to keep it safe. That's a possession. Now, let's say you got a coin collection, gold coins. Well, you're going to put them in a safe, or you're going to put them in a bank, safety deposit box, whatever. You do something to protect it from outside sources. Now, that's what we haven't done with our schools. No, when I grew up, we had gun racks in the trucks, and we carried rifles. Very few people had. We didn't have the pistols because you had to be a little older to have those. My first weapon was a .22 rifle. I was 8 years old when I got that. That was one of my prized possessions. And I got very proficient with that, with the guidance of my dad and family members, and with practice. I learned how to respect a gun. I knew how to take care of that gun. It gave me some responsibility at an early age. So I learned respect and responsibility a lot sooner than what the kids are nowadays. They're all on life support from mom and dad. They think everything's at their beck and call. That's another thing that you need to talk to some of these parents and get your kids wised up and smartened up a little bit. I don't want to get real radical about that, but I'll tell you what, there's been times where I've seen what the parents are doing to the kids just in Walmart or some store. I'd like to punch them out for what they're doing. It's terrible the way they treat their kids and the way they let them get by with everything. All right, back to the thing protecting everything. You can't tell me, okay, besides the fact that the FBI dropped the ball, everybody dropped the ball. The local police, the school, the FBI, even Florida. They're not taking care of business. Everybody's so concerned off of this damn last election. We have a new president. Hello, that should be the end of it. Now let's get back to regular news on my news channel. I want to find out who was speeding, car chase, somebody baked a bunch of pies. I'm a pie eater and I love my pies. I mean, get back to some news, local and national and international. I don't want to keep hearing about politics all the time. I'm sick and tired of hearing about the Russians. We know who the Russians are. We know where they live. We know what they do. It's Hillary Clinton and all the rest of them crab apples and her party. They just keep stirring everything up. They keep... it's like a Maytag guy. They're in there stirring that pot daily. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of Democrats. Come on, move along here. You know, by your actions and what you're doing, you really think you're going to get elected in November? Hell, ain't anybody running against you like a Republican. All they got to do is just say, well, you just point the finger at whoever you're running against and say, what has he or she done since the last election besides bitch and moan and bitch and moan? They ain't got nothing done. They're supposed to be hired to take care of business for you, the people. That's why we have these representatives. Now, we don't need the representatives telling us about what their opinion is on gun control or anything else. That's not why they're hired. We're not hired to find out what their opinion is. We hire them so they can do what we want them to do as a majority, as a whole. I don't want to hear, like John McCain. Yeah, he's a Republican, all right. But that guy scares the crap out of me. He's the dumbest shit I ever seen. Yeah, and if you knew about his background, you wouldn't think twice about electing him any time, let alone the times that he's been elected. I don't think he's going to get elected again. You people up there in the government, you got to start doing things we want done. You didn't learn by the last election. I can see that when I see the Democrats talking their bullshit on TV. Well, you better get a fucking clue. Oops, I'm sorry. I threw them bad words in there. Yeah, I cuss. Sometimes that's the only way I can get your attention, or somebody's attention that I happen to be talking to. Everybody seems to be brain dead nowadays. So if you don't give them a shock treatment, they're not going to pay attention to you, and they're not going to listen. If they ain't listening, they ain't learning. And this is what I did several years ago when we had these school shootings revving up. I called and talked to the local school superintendent. I told him I have a CCW license. I'm former military. I've been highly trained in how to use weapons. I offered my services free of charge in hopes that other people would probably follow suit and we could fill the gaps of the time that they would need some protection for our kids at our schools. And you know the answer I got? Oh no, well thank you very much, but no, we can't do that because it's an insurance thing. Oh really? Well, after they have a school shooting, your insurance ain't for shit. It's going to skyrocket because of all the lawsuits. It's a bunch of BS. Anyway, when somebody's wanting to volunteer and help out, maybe you ought to sit down and do at least a little study verbally with everybody and see what everybody else thinks. See what the pros and cons would be of it. Don't just automatically on the telephone say, no, I'm sorry, it's an insurance problem. Thank you for calling, though. That was the rudest goddamn conversation I had. He was being very polite, but it was rude. You just have to lock the kids up. Now, there's ways of doing that. You don't have to keep them. Okay, when you say you lock the doors in the school, okay, the first thing that comes about is a fire marshal. Oh, we can't have the doors locked because of a fire. Well, let me just throw a monkey wrench in that fucking works. Somebody tell me that to my face, the first thing I would say is, when was the last time you heard of a school fire? What was the first school that ever caught on fire? Well, I probably have an answer for that. A one-room schoolhouse out in bumfuck Egypt, where they burned coal or wood, whatever, to keep that one-room schoolhouse warm. I'm sure they had a few fires out of that. But nowadays, with the construction of the buildings, there's not a lot of stuff to catch on fire. Of course, they got a lot of paper and they got a lot of plastic. Yeah, there's things that can burn, but you Google it. I've Googled it like 10 times. I've worded it every different way. I could not get Google to come back and tell me of any school that caught fire. So, bullshit. You can still lock the doors. You can have the doors that, the problem is, where they're locked from the outside, but you can get out from the inside. That's a problem because one person can let some bad people come in. So you gotta, there's other ways of doing that. Okay. Just hire some people. Former police officers, part-time police officers, Maybe some fired FBI agents. You know, we need to have a bunch of them fired. So maybe they might be needing a part-time job. There's a lot of military personnel out here that would just love to do that and wouldn't even charge you. And you could put together quite a little staff of this volunteer force. But still, you can afford to pay. Hey, you know what the majority of our taxes are for? Schools. I don't have any kids in schools. I'm still paying outrageous school tax. 90% of my real estate tax is for schools. Come on. You can hire Barney Fife. 3 or 4 or 5, 6 of them. It depends on how big your school is. Just hire enough people to make sure everybody gets in there in the morning, and then batten down the hatches and leave the doors open you want and have them manned. It don't cost very much for metal detectors now. You don't even have to have a person there. You just have a metal detector that's stationary. They got them in all kinds of businesses. The price tag is really dropped on that crap. Set it up with an alarm on it so it notifies somebody. Come on, people, put your thinking caps on. If you want to protect the kids, there's a way of doing that if you just think about it. Trying to ban the gun ain't gonna do shit. Let's see, which one of them Democrats? Nancy Pelosi, I don't know if it's her or which one. They say as soon as the bad people know that nobody's armed, they'll give up. They won't do what they're planning on doing. Whoa. Do I look like I just lost a screw or something? What? Who could come up with some bullshit like that? Oh yeah, the guy that wants to rob you, wants to shoot up a school. Oh, if he finds out nobody's got a gun there, yeah, he won't do that. Well, guess what, fuckers? Your goddamn school's a soft target. That's where these people go. They all go to soft targets. That's where you don't have guns. Teach those kids, those teachers in there how to get them a CCW, how to operate a gun, how to respect a gun, how to do what you have to do in preparation of needing to use the gun to protect the children in your classroom. Come on. If you don't want to do that, then hire some people to come in there that do this and know how to do it. This old stupid shit, gun control. Good God. There's so many reasons out there that just blows that crap. Number one is the Second Amendment we have. Don't fuck with my Constitution. Yeah, everybody keeps tampering with that, and everybody thinks they can just tweak this and tweak that. You little fuckers. Quit acting like a goddamn bunch of pansies. If you teach them kids that they do 1, 2, 3 things under a crisis situation, the last thing they do is fight their ass off, save their life and their friends' lives. You get enough of them kids that go in there and tackle one of them sumbitches. I mean, we're talking about high schoolers. They can go in there and they can wipe that sumbitch out. Instead of shooting 20 of them, they might get 3 or 4 shot. I mean, come on, you got to do something. Quit fucking around on your damn hands, and the first thing that comes up is, we need gun control. We need gun control. And the black guns. We don't need military guns. They're not military guns. If I have a golf club and I go golfing with it, it's a golf club. If I go inside the clubhouse with that golf club and I wang old nitwit over there in the corner with that son of a bitch, it's now an assault weapon. It's still a golf club, but now it's an assault weapon. They don't make assault weapons. The military has their guns. But you know what they used in the beginning for snipers? Well, they still use them. They used a Remington 700, a BDL. Yes, a Remington rifle. They were using 30-06s. Wow, that's a hunting rifle. Oh, really? And the military used it? Well, yes, they did. A Remington rifle. It didn't have black shit on it, nothing. It killed people. One shot at a time. It's not a military weapon, it's a civilian weapon that the military adopted to use in one of their operations. Gee, how's that work? I mean, you know. Just because the gun is black, just because it's got some different arrangements on it, a pistol grip, you know, that's just for helping you use that weapon for whether it's hunting, whether it's sport, or whether it's in war. You go to war, you're going to pick up whatever gun you can get a hold of, whether it's black, brown, wood, plastic, whatever the hell. Come on, people, educate your goddamn stupid sons of bitchin' minds on what a gun is, how it's pronounced. It's not a semi. Don't call any of my guns a semi. They're a semi-automatic rifle, or bolt-action rifle, or pump rifles. It goes on and on and on. You people ain't got enough time in the day to get yourself prepped on what these guns are all about. Quit being a parrot and one shitface over here that's a Democrat, congressman, or senator, and he says, well, yeah, you see this gun here? We don't need this gun. This gun is for military. Okay, then you turn around and go, well, that's what they said, so I think they know what they're talking about. So, yeah, we don't need that gun. Oh, man. The guy that was talking in the first place, he didn't know what he was talking about to begin with. They don't know what the calibers are. They don't know what anything's for. They don't know the difference between handguns and semi-automatic handguns. Do you know the most popular? Do you know the most reliable handgun is a revolver, not a semi-automatic pistol. They're called semi-automatic. It can shoot singly, one shot at a time, or you can repeatedly because it reloads itself. A revolver is not a semi-automatic. The cylinder revolves. Every time you pull the trigger, it turns and fires. And the next time you pull it, it turns and fires. You only have 5 or 6 shots. Unless you got maybe one of them 22s that holds 9. I think I've been on here, it says here, for 23 minutes. I'm sorry if you're listening to this and you're bored to death by now. I really don't give a fuck. I come on here because this is therapeutic for me. So I don't go off and go shoot a place up, you know. No. It is a little therapeutic for me. I kind of get this shit off my chest. Yeah. Well, I got a lot more things to bitch about. One of them I've been threatening to bring up, and I got to say it this time before I go. When y'all get up there to the stoplight, and you got your 2, 3 lanes, whatever it is, most generally, it's a 4-lane road. 2 lanes on each side, you're stopped. When that fucking light turns green from the red thing, you know, when it's red, that's when you're supposed to look at your phone, jack with the fucking crap in the car, and don't pay attention to that light up there, hanging up there in the damn air. No. That's because nobody'd have any use for their horn if they didn't have to honk their fucking horn because you ain't paying attention. Now here's the thing that really pisses me off. When that light turns green, theoretically, we don't want to be an accordion. We want to be proficient. So theoretically, if everybody stopped at that stop sign behind each other, when it turns green, stomp it. Everybody should be fine, as long as the dipshit up in front of you does the same thing. Well, I'm generally stuck behind one of you dipsticks. You're sitting there lollygagging. It takes you forever to get going. Then when you start going, it's like you're saving gas. Or the wind is too strong and you can't get through that wind. Just fucking lollygag all, you get damn near to the next stoplight and you're just up to about 40, maybe 35. Hey, I'm behind you. I got places to go, things to do, and people to see. I don't need you in front of me because when I'm behind you and you're doing that shit, I'm a-cussing your ass out big time. Boy, if you could hear me, man, you'd pull that goddamn piece of crap over to the side of the road and then hire somebody to drive you around. Well, that's what's been pissing me off for a long time about the driving thing. A lot more things. Oh, God, I get on my Harley and I get out there. You people just really piss me off. But the ones that are around me, they know I'm pissed off because I'm not inside of a cage or something. I'm outside where I can get vocal. I don't care. I'm old. I get vocal. I've always gotten vocal. Listen.